Welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua, and for this practice you'll want to have two blocks, a strap, a bolster, and a blanket. On this very yellow day, I thought that we would focus quite a bit on the lower part of the body, specifically on the root chakra or Muladhara chakra, root energy center. So let's start in a comfortable seated position of your choice in which you can feel evenly rooted down through your left and right sitting bones. I'd like to also talk a little bit about the second yama, or niyama, excuse me. We've been going through the second limb of yoga, and the niyamas are the practices that help us to connect with our essence, our inner being, our true nature, on a regular basis. So the second niyama is called santosha. It's a Sanskrit word that often means contentment. And I want to share a little bit from Gabrielle Harris, her writing about santosha. We are stronger than we think. We have the capacity and power to shape our relationship to all of life's experiences. We can learn to love what is arising in all its complexity. Santosha will naturally arise when you accept the challenge to live a full and human life. When we fall in love with our lives, we understand the paradox that where there is heartbreak, there is love. Where there is sadness, there is joy. Where there is hope, there is despair. These are all parts of living in our human form. So why not make friends with it all? We talk in mindfulness practice about this idea of befriending what's arising in the present moment and learning how to hold space for whatever it might be, whether we deem it pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. Remembering that all scope of experiences are part of being human. Here are some mantras that you might find helpful when the not so pleasant seeming situations arise and we're wanting to practice santosha. Can I be with this? Can I accept this just as it is? Tapping into gratitude, I am grateful for, or it is what it is. Reminding yourself life is beautiful in all its complexity. Reminding yourself that you are whole. I am complete. Everything is going to be okay. And this very powerful and succinct mantra, which you can use during meditation, this too. It's this idea of holding space for whatever is coming up and saying to yourself, this too. Now, santosha is not to be confused with looking the other way and avoiding when something seems difficult. Rather, it's the opposite. It's learning how to be with the challenges that might come up and holding space, finding a centeredness amidst it all. Also, it's not spiritual bypassing and saying, oh, everything is great when things feel difficult. It's acknowledging that something feels difficult and coming back to that one mantra, this too I can be with. And so as we practice today, we can look at the physical yoga practice as things may arise, tension in the body, difficulty with the breath, or the mind looping negative thoughts. Can you bring a presence to that, a kind and loving, compassionate presence? And remember, maybe one of those mantras, this too, I can hold space for this too. I can be with myself in this situation, in this idea of befriending. So take a moment to be still in the body and maybe close the eyes and sense whatever you're experiencing right now through your physical sensations. accepting whatever is for you in the present moment in your physical state. And then observing your breathing to notice your energetic state. Tune into your heart and mind to notice your mental and emotional state. Let's start to slow the breath down, inviting a fuller inhalation. Exhaling through the mouth. Breathing in a little bit deeper. Arriving at the very top, sense that feeling of fullness, and then take your time releasing all of the breath out. Arriving at the very bottom, feel the contrast of emptiness. Noticing how the breath itself shows that there is that sort of seeming dichotomy of opposites to create a whole. The in-breath, the out-breath. In the practice of Santosha, identify something you feel grateful for right now, something you appreciate. And then clarify what you are cultivating through today's practice, setting your intention, saying your personal prayer. Is there someone around you that you would like to dedicate today's practice to? A way of offering loving kindness to another being. And let's open the practice by chanting together the seed sound for awakening your root energy center, Muladhara Chakra. And that bija mantra is Lam. Let's chant that together 3 times as you visualize the base of your spine, the color red, sending the vibrational sound Lam into that region as you cultivate the feelings of connection to your earth body, the earth, Mother Earth herself, and a feeling of stability and being nourished through the elements, air, water, fire, ether. So Lam 3 times, inhale into the base of the spine. Lam, Lam, Lam. Breathing in slowly through the nose. And breathing out slowly through the nose. Let's close the lips and start to lengthen the breath evenly in and out. And at the same time, softly constrict the back of the throat to create a gentle whispering sound that helps to relax the nervous system and focus the mind while balancing your energy. This practice is called Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing. So as you listen to the sound rhythm you're creating in the breath, let's start to move the spine in circles. So press down through your pelvis and start to lean to one side as you breathe in, shifting your weight forward, exhaling to the other side, shifting your weight back. Continue with a few more circles in this direction in what's called Sufi rolls. And a few more circles in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Let's come on down to our backs, and we're going to warm up the pelvic region just a bit more. So as you lie down, bend your knees, set your feet apart, a little wider apart than hips distance, flat on the floor, and let your arms just rest on the lower belly here, letting the weight of the hands encourage a feeling of grounding. Inhale, drop your knees both to the right side. Exhale, your knees both to the left. Keep going for several more cycles of breath, taking your time to pace your movement to your breathing. Let your shoulders relax on the ground. One more deep breath. Then come back to center and hug your right thigh or shin towards your chest. Straighten the left leg forward on the ground and begin to circle your right foot at the ankle in both directions. So the root energy center, while mainly it's at the base of the spine, also includes what's below it, what connects you physically to the ground, your legs, your feet. And then from here, splay your right thigh further out to the right side and lift the sole of your right foot as if your right leg were in happy baby pose. Press your left palm on the top of your left thigh, and with your right arm inside of your right leg, catch hold of your right outer ankle or foot, drawing the right knee towards the earth on the outer side of your right shoulder while the back of your left hip stays on the ground. Let's tune into about 5 to 7 more deep breaths here. Bending your left knee, step your left foot on the earth again, and now cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh, creating a figure 4 shape out of your legs. Stabilize your right knee by flexing your right foot where you curl the toes up towards the right shin, keeping the left foot on the floor. Press your right palm against the top of your inner right thigh, close to your hip crease, and gently splay your right thigh open while still grounding the back of your left hip, grounding the backs of your shoulders. Notice how this feels, especially along the right side of your pelvis. Now, if you're not feeling much sensation happening here, then you can go ahead and add the next step, which is to lift the left foot off the floor and thread your right hand between your thighs. With 2 hands, take hold of your left thigh or shin and start to bring the left leg towards you as you nudge your inner right thigh to continue splaying open with the right elbow. Remember to keep flexing your right foot here and thread the needle for another 5 to 7 deep breaths. Now let's set the left foot back onto the ground. Slide your right leg further around the left leg. So now you have a wrap, and scoot your pelvis towards the right edge of your mat. Open up the right arm, ground the right shoulder on the floor, gazing past the shoulder to stretch the neck, lift your feet, and let's start to drop the knees slowly to your left side. Go only as far with the legs as you can keep the right shoulder on the floor. So if it helps, grab your pillow, maybe some blankets and other props, and catch your outer left thigh. Resting your left hand on your right outer hip. Let in a full breath, grounding both shoulders. And as you exhale, gently press away your right outer hip so that it gently tilts towards the front edge of your mat. Deep breaths here. Slowly roll onto your back, uncrossing the legs. Bring your pelvis to the midline of your mat. Let's stretch the legs long, raise the arms overhead for a deep stretch down the length of the body. Full breath in here. Slow breath out through the nose, listening to the whisper at the back of your throat. Bend your knees again and step your feet on the ground. Hug your left thigh or shin towards your chest and slide the right leg forward. Let's circle the left foot at the ankle in both directions for a few deep breaths. Ardha Apanasana, half wind relieving pose. Splay your left thigh to the left side of your rib cage and lift the sole of your left foot to face the sky. Pressing your right palm onto the top of your right thigh, ground the back of your right hip, thread the left arm onto the inside of your left leg, and catch hold of your left outer ankle or foot. As you draw the left knee towards the earth, further to the left side of your rib cage. Keep grounding the back of your right hip. What are you sensing in your body here? What's arising or shifting or lingering? As you notice, you might find the mantra, this too, helpful in holding space for whatever that may be. Bending the right knee again, set the right foot on the ground and cross your left ankle over your right thigh while flexing your left foot, curling the toes towards the shin. Press your left palm against the top inner side of your left thigh to splay the left thigh open while still grounding the back of your right hip. Sense what you're feeling around the left side of your pelvis here for a few deep breaths. Notice if your body is wanting you to stay in this variation of the pose or to take a step deeper by lifting the right foot and threading the left hand between your thighs. And with both hands holding your right thigh or shin, as you gently bring the right leg towards you, splay your left thigh open by nudging it with your left arm. And keep relaxing your head and shoulders down. Keep flexing your left foot. As you practice Ujjayi breathing, we're cultivating that sense of calm, not only physically, but mentally, which allows us to be with whatever is arising, cultivating santosha. Now set your right foot on the ground again. Slide your pelvis towards the left edge of your mat and wrap the left leg further over the right leg. Open the left arm wide to the left, ground the shoulder, gaze past it, stretching the neck, and then lift your feet. Start to drop your knees slowly to your right side, only as far as the left shoulder can stay on the ground. So if it helps, you can catch your legs on the right side with props. Rest your right hand on your left outer hip. Let in a full breath. As you exhale, press away your left outer hip, gently tilting it towards the front edge of your mat. Start to roll onto your back, uncrossing your legs. Slide your legs straight ahead again. Raise the arms overhead for another long body stretch. And then draw your bent knees into your chest, circling the legs in opposite directions, rocking side to side, forward and back. Gradually making your way up to sit and rocking forward onto your hands and knees. Stack your shoulders on top of your wrists, step the knees just below the hips, and spin out your hands so that your fingertips turn to face the left and right edges of the mat or the rear edge. Let's move through cat-cow a few times. As you inhale, glide your chest forward, roll your shoulders back and down, and look up. As you exhale, lift the belly, dropping your head slowly to round your back. Inhale again, coiling your chest up into cow pose. Exhale, lifting the navel to dome into cat pose. Allow a few more cycles of breath, and if there's a different direction your head or your pelvis or other parts of your body need to move, feel free to explore. Sit back onto your shins for a moment and let's stretch the opposite side of the wrists, making fists with your hands. Connect your fists, give yourself a fist bump. Keep that shape and place the backs of your fists onto the floor about a foot in front of your knees, and slowly shift your weight forward until you find the amount of intensity you want to feel in this outer wrist stretch. Relaxing your jaw, you might flutter your lips, you might take a few lion's breaths, sighing with the mouth wide, sticking out the tongue. You might shake your head no as you relax the shoulders back. Leaning back onto your shins again, roll out your shoulders, shake out your hands, circle the hands at the wrists. And let's slide the legs out in front of you, preparing for Baddha Konasana, which will hold for 3 minutes in a restorative posture. So as you bring the soles of your feet together, take a moment to decide whether you want the heels really close to your glutes, as that offers a different opening into your inner thighs and outer hips, or play with the heels as far away from your groins, keeping the diamond shape of your legs, keeping the soles of the feet connected. And then set up your block, maybe 2 blocks, so that you either have an incline, you can rest the block onto your inner ankles, inner feet like this. You could set up 2 blocks stacked. So this will be catching your forehead, whether it's going to be catching your forehead in front of your feet or inside of your legs. And then root down through your 2 sitting bones. As you breathe in, lift up through the chest, relax the shoulders back and down, lift up through the back of the skull. Keep lengthening the spine, and as you breathe out, slightly engage the abdomen and hinge forward from the hips just a little bit. Breathe in, plug the pelvis downward, lift the spine from the hips, grow through the crown of the head, and as you breathe out, continue to hinge from the hips. If the back begins to round and the shoulders tense, the throat closes, back off a little bit and add some extra props so that you can support yourself to the range where you have a long spine. And once your head can be completely supported, relax your arms, maybe close the eyes, and continue breathing slowly and evenly through the nose, creating that whispering sound to listen to. Let a slow breath in, filling up across your lower back, inner thighs, pelvis, using your mind's eye. Exhale slowly through the lips. Press your hands into the ground. Slowly begin to lift your body up to sit again. Stretch both legs out in front of you. And root your 2 sitting bones down. Separate your feet a little wider than hips distance apart. Press the insteps of your feet forward so that your inner thighs slightly rotate towards the ground, a little internal rotation to broaden your lower back. And at the same time, hug your outer hips towards your spine and then lift the lower spine from the hips. Lengthen all the way up through the crown. Soften the shoulders slightly back and down. Place a block or 2 stacked between your calves. And then start to hinge forward from the hips. Breathe in, pause, press the pelvis a little deeper into the earth, and then stretch the spine a little longer. Keep the shoulders relaxed, the heart lifted. Exhale as you hinge a little more. Take your time breath by breath to find the range of your forward fold in which you can still open the throat, you can still relax the shoulders, and really lengthen the spine as you rest your forehead on your block. Let the arms relax too, let the shoulders relax. Again, we'll be here for 3 minutes in Paschimottanasana, supported version of seated forward fold. Try not to turn out your legs here. Try to keep your insteps of your feet pressing forward with a gentle flexion at the feet. Use that to support your hamstrings and your lower back. Again, notice the sensations you're experiencing here. Where might you send the next full breath to invite space? And the exhale to invite softening. One more deep breath. Again, let it out through the mouth this time. Press your hands into the ground. Start to lift the chest, slowly rising up. You might sit in hero's pose with the support of a block or sitting directly on your calves as we practice one more pranayama before we prepare for a sound bath shavasana, mini sound bath. So sitting up tall, lengthening the spine, inviting an open heart space as you relax the shoulders down. I'll invite you into box breathing, a mudra that promotes the feeling of balance, inner balance, balance of the elements that are flowing with you, like fire, earth, water, air, ether, is to bring the fingertips of each hand to gently touch like this, like you're holding a sphere between the palms, and then relaxing the shoulders, just letting the hands hover towards the region of your solar plexus, just in front of that, in the most natural way as possible. So as you hold this mudra, I'll invite you into Samavriti Pranayama, which is a calming, grounding breathing technique that brings clarity to mind. It's in English called box breathing. Closing the lips, we'll breathe in through the nose for a slow count of 4. We'll hold the breath in for a count of 4 and exhale through the nose, a count of 4. Then hold the breath out, a count of 4. When you're holding the breath, try to relax as much as possible. Let's try 3 cycles of Samavriti Pranayama together. And I'll invite you to practice 3 more cycles on your own before we let go of controlling the breath, and notice how you feel. Before we start, let in a full breath. Open the mouth, let it go. Close the mouth to prepare. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. On your own, continue 3 more cycles. you finish, come back to breathing naturally. Observe how you feel. And when you're ready, please gently lower your body to rest in corpse pose, Shavasana, for a few minutes. Closing your eyes, relaxing your whole body, and breathing naturally. Notice how your physical body feels now. Be gentle with yourself as you start to wake up your body slowly. Begin with a subtle movement, such as rubbing your thumbs across your fingertips. Little by little, easing into a stretch. Gradually turn over onto your right side and rest your head for a few moments, observing the quality of your breath, sensing how you've affected your energy through your practice. Take your time to slowly lift your body upright. Find a comfortable position to sit for 5 minutes in meditation. You might rest the right palm face up on top of the left palm at the center of your lap, letting the thumb tips gently touch, inviting inner and outer balance as well. You can also bring the thumb and index finger to touch and let the palms face down, a grounding mudra. You might close the eyes and start by bringing your mind's eye down to the base of your spine, the region of Muladhara Chakra, root energy center. There, once again, I invite you to visualize a glowing red light, emanating the feelings of grounding, stability, nurturing, feeling supported by Mother Earth, nature, your physical body, your community, your loved ones, all the ways that you're supported in your physical well-being in your daily life. Attune to that grounding energy, less analytical mind, more energetic attunement. You might visualize that red glowing energy from the base of your spine, spreading into any other areas of your body in which you would like to experience well-being, a feeling of stability, safety, support. sense how you're feeling now mentally and emotionally. I invite you to take a moment to offer gratitude to anything you'd like to recognize with appreciation. Consider offering gratitude to the earth, to the natural world that supports us in every way, every moment. Consider offering gratitude to your physical body, your instruments. Then remember what your intention is for today's practice. How will you continue to practice Santosha in ways that enrich your human experience, in ways that connect you to your true nature? And remember to whom you dedicated today's practice. Together, let's close once again chanting the Bija mantra or seed sound of your root energy center, Lam, 3 times. Breathing in. Lam. 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 The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.